man owned a small, quiet comb factory. As he grew older and fell ill, he knew his time was ending. He had 3 sons, but only one could take over. The father was troubled by a single pressing dilemma. He needed to determine which of them had the capability to lead the business. To find out, he devised a highly specific test. He instructed his 3 sons to travel up the mountain to a nearby monastery and sell their combs. This diagram illustrates the immediate constraint of the father's chosen market. Every single monk at that monastery had a completely shaved, tonsured head. But instead of arguing, they accepted the challenge in silence. He spent his time observing the monks, actively searching for an alternative way they might physically use the comb. He approached a few monks with a straightforward pitch. They didn't need combs for their hair, but the stiff teeth could be used to scratch the hard-to-reach places on their backs. The eldest son returned home having sold exactly 3 combs. The second son took the same path, but he stayed at the monastery a bit longer. Instead of focusing entirely on the monks, he turned his attention to the arriving devotees. He noticed the visitors were tired, sweaty, and disheveled from the climb. He went to the monastery caretakers and suggested they place grooming stations, equipped with mirrors and combs at the entrance, allowing visitors to tidy up before offering their prayers. The caretakers agreed. The second son returned home with 10 combs sold. Both of He entirely ignored the pressure to secure a quick sale. Instead, he observed the environment and asked himself a single guiding question: what is really happening here? This flowchart maps the flow. Devotees bring offerings to the monastery, but leave with nothing. He told the head monk this broken loop was a missed opportunity. His solution: distribute combs engraved with Buddha's teachings as tokens of gratitude, cleanly closing the loop. The psychology behind the pitch was precise. The engraved comb acts as a physical anchor in the devotee's home. Every time they see or use it, it deepens their devotion and triggers the impulse to visit the monastery again. The head monk immediately recognized the value of the idea. A few days later, the monastery signed a massive binding contract. Looking back at our sales chart, we can quantify the scale of the victory. The youngest son secured a 5-year contract for the entire output of the comb factory. He returned home quietly, offering his father no boasting or exaggerated stories, only the final paperwork. The father looked at his 3 sons, holding the results of his impossible test. He now knew exactly who possessed the vision to inherit the business. Which brings us back to the central puzzle of the story. What was the mistake the first 2 sons made?